I am Mitch Johnson with Interlux, and today we have joining us live from Germany, Sven Sattler with Sattler. He will be guiding us through a tour of their showroom and factory. Our normal salesperson, Carlos, is on vacation in Mexico this week, which is where a lot of us might like to actually be right now. But instead, we're here, and we're going to learn a little bit about Sattler fixtures, really the level of quality, just kind of the details that go into the production of their fixtures. So I think all of you will really enjoy this. I will remove my pen now and I will turn the floor over to Sven. And if there are any questions, if you'll hold them until the end, we do have a little bit of time here at the end where you can certainly bounce questions off of us, the Interlux salespeople, or Sven himself. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for the introduction and welcome everybody to our showroom. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do a tour through our facilities. We're going to start here in our showroom. I'm going to show you a couple of different product families. Then we're going to go all the way through our offices to production, where I'll show you a couple of details about production and our fixtures. Okay, so when I say welcome here in our showroom, where is here? Here is in the south of Germany, in a city that nobody's going to know, but we're not too far from Stuttgart, which is the home to, for example, Mercedes-Benz and Porsche. So we're in a quite good neighborhood in terms of companies. All right, so what you can see here in the background, that's some fixtures out of our, what I would call our more classical product portfolio. So it's all of the ring fixtures and ringish fixtures and a lot of different shapes. So we have them in lots of different dimensions in terms of size. We actually do them up to, as a standard, up to 30 feet. And we have lots of different profiles in terms of thickness and appearance. So for example, above me, what you can see are the more slim and filigree versions, which are namely the Doppio and the Slim. So the Doppio is the one that is direct and indirect, and the Slim one is the one that is purely direct. However, it could also be just indirect or pointing to the outside or to the inside in terms of light. Speaking about light, we're always quite flexible for the light temperature. You can always choose between 2,700, 3,000 or 4,000, and you even have an option of RGB. So, however, what we always pay a lot of attention to in all of our fixtures are the finishes. Yeah, so on the ring fixtures, for example, there are lots of different finishes. So starting as at a white powder coating, then moving all the way through the different finishes, and ending at a very special finishing, which is the aluminium polished. So it's actually the pure aluminium polished until you get to this mirror-like result. And as I move it, you can see actually everything really reflects in it. Okay. Perfect. Let's go to see another really nice detail of these fixtures. So what you can see here, that's a Slim Delta. Delta because it has this delta triangular shape. And basically what you can see is that you can see no power supply cable. Yeah. So what we do is we have current carrying suspensions. And that way, the fixture kind of really hovers in the air, which makes it really light and really nice to look at, as you can hardly see the suspensions from a couple of feet apart. Okay, moving on to another product family, which is relatively new. That's the Palito. So the Palito is a quite special product, as it just has one asymmetrically positioned suspension. So this actually means that I can freely move around the fixture. In order for the fixture to stay in a certain position, however, we have a counterweight included in the shorter part, which can actually be moved and adjusted by turning this knurled nut at the end of the fixture. And if you have a close look, then you also see what our quality understanding is about. So actually, it's a really nice pattern that we've included. So that's the attention to detail that we pay. Then on this fixture, in terms of control, we've included a gesture control. So you can either dim or turn the fixture on or off. In general, most of our fixtures, or actually on all of our fixtures, you have lots of different versions of how to dim it. So either it's a gesture control, it's a 0 to 10 dimming, it's a Lutron, or yeah, lots of options always. This picture is also a really good example of how we work in terms of product design. So what we always pay attention to is, or what is really important for us is on one side, it's the design and the material, and on the other side, it's the functionality. So in this case, for example, we've included lenses with, so it's individual lenses on the LEDs with a beam angle of 52 degrees. So it's perfectly suited for reception areas or a table because you get all of the light actually where you need it. Generally, we only work with a CRI of higher 90 because most of our fixtures, they're always being used in areas where people meet. So mostly we're in meeting rooms, in conference rooms, lounge areas, or entrance areas in larger buildings. So actually you don't want anybody to look pale. Okay. All right, and we like to do families. So right next to the Palito, you see the Palito wall. So it's also, it has a lot of the freedom. You can change it from indirect to a direct light output, and you can move the fixture itself. Then above myself, you see the Palito Mikado, which is a version that combines multiple Palitos in one fixture. And it results in a really nice fixture that has a direct and indirect light output. And again, it's current carrying, so there's no power supply cable that comes down from top to bottom, so from the canopy to the fixture. All right, just another version of the Palito. It has two suspensions. However, we gave it a freedom in movement. And last member of the family, that's our Fino floor. So it's this very nice and filigree fixture that has this movable part and this very nicely integrated dimming and on-off switch. Okay. So for all of these fixtures, we've also chosen some quite interesting finishes. So what we did for these fixtures is we chose to brush our aluminum profile, and then we anodize it either in gold, in brass, in black, or in silver. So and that those same finishes are also available for the Fino pendant, which is part of a neighboring family of the Palito. So you have lots of different lengths, just a really nice product. And to make the family whole, we even have spots that are available in different mounting versions, like semi-recessed or surface mounted. Okay, good. Moving on, above the conference room, we see the evolution. And again, it's a decorative fixture, but at the same time, it's functional and you reach the lux levels that you would need on a conference room. So in this case, well, you need 500. What we reach here is about 750, I'd say. So yeah, this fixture is actually really cool because what we do is, or what we did is we developed a system of how you just push the parts together and how you lock them without having any visible screws on the outside. Yeah, so that just makes it just look like one whole fixture that doesn't consist of different parts. Okay, then if we have a look through the room, we see some members of the Aveni family. So the one you see here above the table, it's an Aveni Pendant 4. So the Aveni Pendant 4 is actually, yeah, it's a quite nice product because first of all, it looks nice, but at the same time, it has all the lighting tools that you need to work with in a project. So first of all, you can turn the heads from direct to indirect, or you just use them on the wall. And secondly, you're able to change the light beams on the heads themselves. Yeah? So I'm just gonna show that to you real quick. So as a standard, what we've included is an 8-degree spot. And then you add the lenses, which is, for example, a 25-degree. It's just a magnetic snap-on. And then you could add another lens, which changes temperature towards a warmer light temperature. Yeah? Or you could even go for an elliptical light beam. And again, we like to do families. So this one here, that's the floor version. Behind me, you see the wall scones, and there's lots of different versions for the pendant, yeah, for the pendant fixtures. Some of them you can see them here on the sign. So the smallest one being a fixture with 3 light heads, and the largest one then being one with 8 heads, and the actual largest one is 18 light heads in one fixture combined. Okay, all right, let's move on to our Favo room. Okay, so what we have here is our Favo light cell. So it's a quite cool and modular system. So the one here consists of 2 hexagons, but as it is modular, you can also just have 1 hexagon, or you go ahead and you design your own shape that you'd like to have. Yeah? As you can see here on the display, all of the different shapes are possible. In terms of finishes, we're able to offer a copper, a dark sand silver, and an anthracite. Yeah? The light source sits in each head, and there is one large lens included in each head. Yeah? Yeah. So application area for this one would be, again, like a conference table, or if you have a reception area in a certain form. So that's how you could adapt the fixture, the fixture to the architecture. Okay. All right. Very nice. Then we're going to move on to our offices. However, we'll do a quick stop here just to show you one of our various mounting versions. So what you can see here, this part, that's actually a pendant canopy. Yeah. So we have a look downwards. Then you see that this Aveni with the 6 heads is attached from the canopy. So the advantage that this pendant canopy gives you is that we can use 120 volt all the way down from the ceiling. And then only from the canopy to the fixture, you have a 36 volt connection. And in case you need to maintain any of the drivers, you just need to go up to this point, and you can spare the rest of the height to the ceiling. Okay. All right, let's move on to our offices and to production then. On our way down, we'll have a look to the left, and that's where you're going to see an example of an application of the Palito. So you don't always have to use it in a combination of like 10 or 12. But if you combine 2 or 3 above a kitchen countertop, a table, that's a really nice light output that you get, and also a really nice visual composition. Okay. All right. Moving on to our offices. first of all, let's have a quick look at the Luce Verde. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, we're still live. The Luce Verde is a fixture that has moss included. It's actually real moss, which is it's grown in a greenhouse, and then it's a special process that we do to dry it and then to recolor it. In that process, it's being treated for insects. It's also aesthetically loaded, so that dust won't settle down on it. So you actually don't have to do any maintenance. And the idea of it is that, for example, if you have in the entrance area of your project, you have a living green wall, which always needs to be maintained, then you can use this fixture to set accents throughout the project in the conference rooms or in the lounge areas. Okay, perfect. Then what you can see above me here, that's actually the Choco. So the Choco has been designed with the golden ratio in mind. So the golden ratio, it's basically roughly 1 part to 2 parts in comparison and dimension. And as we've designed all the sizes in these within these dimensions, once you combine them, they go really nicely together. And the really cool thing about it is that you can include an acoustic panel. So in that way, you combine the light and the acoustic properties. Yeah, so it actually absorbs the sound waves. Yeah.
No.
And
No, dear.
so as a standard, we have a light gray and a dark gray, and but there's also lots of different colors available, like a green, red, and blue. And the nice thing is that we're in most of our ring fixtures, we're also able to include an acoustic cloth, for example. So you have acoustic panel and light fixture at the same time in one fitting. And another thing that is included in the Choco here, which can also be included in like 85% of our other fixtures, is the tunable white. So I'm not 100% sure if you can see it nicely in the video, but now I'm changing the light temperature from a warm white to from a cold white to a warm white and back to a cold white. Yeah, so that's basically available for most of our fixtures. Okay, let's move on to our production then. On the way to production, we're going to pass through our offices, which are unfortunately empty at the moment because everybody already left for the day, as it is already close to 7 p.m. in the evening. So yeah, all the different departments that you see here, those are, yeah, for example, the technical department, the product design department, or our international sales department. And once we walk through this door, then we're out. So first of all, let's have a look around. So this is one of our 3 production floors. So all of our fixtures are being produced on one of these production floors. Yeah. So 100% of our fixtures come out of these halls. In here, everything is movable. Yeah. So everything is actually placed on these movable tables. Or once the fixture is larger, then we use these red or black stands in order to produce them. So that way, our production looks different from day to day. Yeah, so it could be 10, 15 smaller fixtures today, and just a couple of large fixtures tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, let's have a look at a couple of details. So what we have here right now, that's a custom finishing that we do for one of our projects. So it's a gold glazed finishing, and it's a quite cool process that we do to get it. So what we need to do first is that we need to polish the profile, and then as a second step, we give it this golden glaze. Yeah. And yeah, and there's a lot of details to our products, like the LEDs, for example. So these are curved LED boards. So especially in these very small fittings, we need to perfectly place our LEDs in order to not have any dark spots on the illuminated surface in the end. Yeah? So we have these LED boards actually in all the different diameters that we offer. Then I mentioned that we also do like really large fittings. So here, for example, that's a fitting which is roughly 9 to 10 feet in diameter. And so these need to be separated for transportation, and then they need to be easy to be assembled on site in the US. So we basically have these very sturdy connections that you would then reconnect in order to assemble it on site, and you just have to close those screws in order to have a very stable fixture again. Okay, very cool. Then just want to show you very quick some of the packaging again, as we need to do some really special things in order to get the fittings over to the US. This is a very typical packaging for one of the soft deltas or the ring fixtures. Then we have those, we call them pizza plates internally. And we have those pizza plates for all of the Aveni fixtures. And we have these sort of packaging for all of the larger fixtures. So in this case, it's two fixtures of about 13 feet in diameter, and the halves are being stacked in the boxes in a way that nothing can happen to them. Yes. And as I said, so this is one of our 3 production floors. And if we have a look to your left, then behind that door, what you'll find is, first of all, our metal workshop, and then also a second production floor. And if you go to the second floor and you walk back to the showroom right above the offices, that's where you'll find another production for our small products like the Fino and the Palito that we've seen earlier. Okay. Yes, so I think I'm just in time, and that's all from my side. Thanks a lot for joining, and yes, if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead, and then I think I'll give back to Steve. Or...
All right. So,
thank you
very
much,
Sven.
Sven.
We appreciate it. If anyone has any questions or comments for Sven, you have his attention now. So please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Antonio, Steve, and I will stick around for anything that you have that you want to direct towards us. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon.